So today was the day when we had the RBI policy, and post that we did see a little bit more weakness coming in as far as our own equity markets go, with the Nifty declining by as much as 33 points and turning a little bit more choppier towards the end of the session. Why was that? Well, of course, that was because of some amount of profit booking coming in after we had the RBI policy well past, the 11 o'clock mark. But when it comes to the policy itself, I'm going to ask Alex, and I'm also going to ask about a few takeaways from what's really happened and gone down as far as that event goes today.
Yeah, so it's usually a spectacle. It's probably more so when Raghuram Rajan is involved. And today especially was even more momentous because today was his last monetary policy review. Apart from the fact that all of those things played out, the actual rate decision wasn't anything great.
Yes.
The rate was held at 6.5%, but really the why of it is what we're all really taking from that monetary policy statement.
Right.
The RBI indicated that it was concerned about the inflation trajectory, especially considering that in June the CPI went up to a 22-month high to 5.77%, and that's despite a favorable base of the last year.
Right.
And that's primarily because of food inflation. So this is all what they've said today in their monetary policy statement. They're saying that going forward, with the monsoon playing out the way it has, it's been good. They expect that food inflation will taper off, but there's a possibility that non-food and non-fuel inflation will actually counterbalance food inflation. They've said that very clearly, and they've also reiterated for the second time in two monetary policy statements that there is an upside bias to the inflation trajectory going forward.
Right.
So does that really mean that we're unlikely to see another rate cut in 2016? We're going to have to wait for a couple of months more to figure out what the inflation data really tells us. The good news is that they've retained their inflation target for FY17 at 5%. They haven't changed that yet.
Right.
And the growth target has been kept at 7.6%.
Right.
So that's primarily what happened at the RBI monetary policy today.
Well, thanks for that, Alex. Actually, that is what we're going to be keeping an eye on, the inflation and the growth rate going forward. But, on the day of an RBI policy, we also see a lot of movements when it comes to the Bank Nifty. So we did see marginal declines in the Bank Nifty, but we also saw a lot of open interest increase towards fresh shorts. So that is one thing we'll be keeping an eye on. But coming back to the Nifty gainers and losers, we are looking at a lot of gains in Tata Power, Zee Entertainment and Bharti Infratel. And these are the three counters which have kept the Nifty buoyant to a certain extent, at least in the first half of the trade. But the reason why we are looking at a lot of weakness is Idea Cellular reacting to the numbers which came yesterday post-market. Lupin also coming up with a disappointing set of margin numbers. So once again, the market's not liking that, which is also the reason why we've seen a decline of as much as 5%. Coming to the mid caps, once again, we are looking at gains in the likes of Indian Bank, SJVN, Exide Industries saw a big block trade today, United Breweries and Piramal Enterprises among the other gainers. Colgate-Palmolive was one counter which saw a little bit of profit booking after seeing a lot of strength in the previous few days on the back of good numbers. Overall Realty, Jayaprakash Associates, Mangalore Refinery among the other losers in today's day of trade. So on the whole, we have seen a lot of weakness in the benchmark indices as well as some amount of weakness when it comes to the mid-cap space. What we are looking forward to now is, as far as the next few days is concerned, is now that the RBI policy is out of the way, we will be moving into the final leg of the earnings season, and tomorrow we will have numbers from Mahindra and Mahindra. Other than that, we are also keeping an eye on some of the mid-cap counters which will also come out its earnings, such as Alembic Pharma. So it's going to be yet another day where we can see some more volatility, given the fact that we have seen a lot of action, particularly at the 8700 mark when it comes to addition of open interest in calls and puts, and considering the Nifty is very, very close to that mark, we can expect a little more when it comes to movements on the benchmark indices and particularly Nifty. But that's what we have so far as today goes. We will be coming back with you tomorrow to track more of the action. Thank you for watching Bloomberg Quint.